Hey my kings and queens, it's your girl Jay and I am back with a new video for you guys. So guys, first and foremost, before I even jump into this video, I just want to apologize for not posting. I know I haven't posted a video in almost 2 or 3 months, maybe 3 at the max, and I really do apologize for not posting. A lot has went on and I just haven't had the time or energy to get in front of this camera, but today is the day that I'm going to lay it all out for you guys, give you guys a major update on everything that has been going on, because y'all are my kings and queens. Y'all mean the most to me, all 156 of you, which we're trying to get this channel to grow, guys. So I'm going to just, at the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you what I'm trying to do to get this channel to grow. I do know that I want you guys input on everything. If you're wanting to see more story times, more mukbangs, more motivational Mondays, whatever you guys, Q&As, pranks, whatever you guys want to see, I'm willing to give it to you guys, as long as it's still me. I'm not gonna, just change myself, but if it's something you want to see and I'm comfortable with it and I know it's me, I don't mind doing it. So I just want to open up the platform so that you guys can express exactly what you want to see Jay do, exactly what you want to see on this channel. So that's that. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So guys, this video is basically going to be an update on everything. I'm just going to explain to you guys everything that has been going on. So first, let's start from the very beginning. So about the end of April, I don't have exact dates, which I was going to sit down and write down exact dates, but I'm already dealing with enough, so I just was like, I'll just go ahead and just give you the month, the in between the time frame of it was, and that just basically explains it. So it was the end of April. I started to get sick. It was almost a week I went without eating. Or if I was eating, it was very small amounts. I was having a hard time keeping anything down, regardless if it was something to drink or if it was something to eat. I was having a really hard time keeping things down. And one night I was at my apartment and I was taking a shower, and all of a sudden I got lightheaded, I got dizzy, and my ears began to ring, and my chest was hurting so bad, and I sat, I just sat there like, okay, let me hurry up and get out of this shower. And then my left arm went numb, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm having a heart attack. Like, that legit went through my mind, I'm having a heart attack. So I called my mom. Guys, I called my mom one time, and I got fussed at so bad for calling her one time. And I know I should have called her more, but I called her one time, and her phone was actually in the living room on the charger, so she could not hear it. So I ended up, just was like, okay, I'm just gonna lay down. I'll be okay. I'm just gonna lay down. So I laid down, and the next day I came over for work, because you guys, I work from home at my mom's house. So I came home from work, and I went ahead, I came over for work, and I went ahead and I told my mom what happened, and I was still experiencing chest pain. So she decided to go ahead and be like, okay, well, you need to contact your function leader, whoever, and let them know that you need to go to the emergency room because your chest is still hurting. So I went to the emergency room. My EKG was a little abnormal. So they went ahead and they took me back. They ran a lot of tests. They were asking me how my chest pain was. They gave me breathing treatment, of course, because I have asthma. And I went there at like 9 something, like 9:30. And I did not leave until like 4 o'clock that morning. And the only thing they said is that I had a UTI. So they gave me medicine for a UTI. And after that, I was like, okay, hopefully I'll begin to feel better. Well, I still wasn't eating. So my mom became even more worried. And I just want to pause for a moment and just thank God for my mother and my father. Without them, I don't know where it would be, because I'm very hard-headed when it comes to my health. I'm a strong individual, and when I'm sick or when I don't feel good or something happens, I don't like being the center of attention. So I just kind of put it on the back burner, and I'm just like, okay, well, what's going on with you? That's always been me, where I put myself on the back burner. And this situation really made, with my parents, really made me like, okay, I need to put myself first, because this is important. I need to figure out what's going on, what's the problem. Because I had spells like this before, like a couple of months before. I had a spell at church. I was at church, and I had a spell, which I told you guys about, where I was basically really dizzy and I almost passed out at church, and I did not know what the cause of this was. So it was very, very scary to go through that situation again. So I still wasn't feeling good, so my mom decided to go ahead and make me a doctor's appointment with my doctor. And I go to the doctor and I tell my mom, Mom, I don't feel very good today. I'm feeling very, very weak. And she's like, well, can you at least, walk back? Because they're wanting me to walk back to get blood drawn. And as I'm walking back, I started to feel myself about to pass out. And Mom was like, sit down, sit down, sit down. So I sit down. My mom runs and gets a nurse, and she's like, well, she almost passed out. Is there, and they're like, oh, well, there's not a room open right now. Just don't move her. We'll come check her blood pressure and everything. So my blood pressure was good. I didn't have a fever, but my heart rate was up. Throughout this whole entire doctor visits and everything, my heart rate was always like 120, 128. Like, it was always high. My heart rate was always high. So after that, I finally got enough strength to go ahead and get my blood drawn. They drew my blood, and I was very, very dehydrated. And I was having chest pain, as I told you guys, and I was having abdominal pain. So my doctor was actually at another facility of his, and I seen the nurse practitioner, and she basically was like, well, I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and call him over to go ahead and put you in the hospital, because you're very dehydrated, you're very weak. And she also told me that she seen no trace of a UTI. So I was like, okay. So I sat over here from 9:00 p.m. to 4:00 a.m. and I didn't have a UTI. They just basically just set me there for no reason, drawing my insurance. Draining my insurance. So she goes ahead and she's like, yeah, we're gonna admit you to the hospital. While admitting you, we're going to put you on a liquid diet, and you're going to also, we're going to also do a CT of your chest, your abdomen, and your pelvis. And, I was not excited to be in the hospital, because, guys, I'm not going to lie, the main thing on my mind was my job and my apartment. I was not thinking about anything else. I was thinking, I got to pay this bill. I can't miss work. If I miss another day, I'm gonna get fired. Like, I'm just thinking of all of this instead of thinking of my health. I'm about to pass out. I'm literally dehydrated to the point that I'm so weak, and I'm still thinking about work, and I'm thinking about my apartment, and my mom and my dad are just like, Jay, that is not what is important right now. What is important right now is your health. And after that, I kind of was like, okay, I still thought about it, because I did not want to miss work. I did not want to have to stress about paying my bills. So I was just really like, I don't know what else to do. So my function lead previously that told me that if I needed leave, I was qualified for leave. So I went ahead and I put in for leave while I was in the hospital. She put in for 1 day, and well, she put in for a day for me that day that I was off, which was a Thursday, because guys, I work Sunday through Thursday. So she put in for that Thursday, and so that Thursday I was in the hospital, and I'm off Fridays and Saturdays, and I work Sundays. So it was Friday morning, my doctor came in, and he was like, so how are you feeling? I was like, I'm feeling, a little bit better. And he was like, okay, well, let's chat. He told me that he saw swollen lymph nodes in my chest, my abdomen, and in my pelvis, and that he never seen anything like this before, and that usually when your lymph nodes are swollen, it could be a chance that I could have lymphoma. And I knew what lymphoma was. My mom was like, okay, what is lymphoma? And my doctor broke it down and said it is a type of cancer. So my mom began to cry, and that's what made me cry, because one thing about it is when my mom was upset, I get upset. So seeing my mom cry was really like, oh gosh, I don't want to see her cry. So after that, he's like, I'm gonna see if we can get a cancer specialist to come see you, and also a general surgeon to see if we can go ahead and get a piece of the lymph node so that we can go ahead and see if it is cancerous. So my mom, she's crying. She gets on the phone and she starts calling my family, calling my pastor, everyone that really cares about me. And I'm telling my close friends, my best friend, and everybody, we're not claiming cancer, just pray for me. This is a really scary thing to be told that you can have cancer. So I cried, I had a breakdown, and I was really I was really upset, because it was like I couldn't understand why at the time, but God does everything for a reason. So I had to just get out of myself and just be like, this is what God is doing, and I have to focus on getting myself better, because at the time I was in a situation that wasn't very good, and I was worried about that person, and worried about work, and worried about my apartment, and I wasn't worried about my health. So it was just like I had to just sit down and think okay, this is a scary situation, but now this is time for Jay to really figure out what's going on with her health and get herself together. Whew, okay. So after that, my mom and me, we're waiting to see the cancer specialist and the general surgeon. So the cancer specialist comes in and he says that, okay, this could be lymphoma or it could be sarcoidosis. And I was immediately scared when he said sarcoidosis, because my aunt Keisha, which was my mom's sister, had sarcoidosis. So I was nervous about that, and I just didn't want to be sick at all. I didn't want to have anything, and I just was like, okay. So we waited and waited. So Monday we thought that we would hear something. Also, the general surgeon came in as well, and he said that there was no way to get the lymph nodes because I'm so heavy he could not feel them. So that this would probably be a situation for another hospital. So we did end up getting referred to another hospital because this was something that was important. If this was something that needed to be taken care of. So we went to UAB. I saw a cancer specialist there. He looked over my tape of my CT scan with my lymph nodes, and he said that, he doesn't think it's cancer, and, it could be some kind of infection in my body, but everything will be fine. He doesn't think that this is anything that's major, but he did go ahead and refer me to a pulmonologist. So I went and seen a pulmonologist about 2 weeks later, and throughout this time, my mom and dad were feeling like, okay, we're okay with him saying that it can't be cancer, but we still don't know. and I feel like we need a second opinion. And, you know, I told them, okay, I'm content. You know, I was content because I did not want to keep going from a 2-hour drive all the time. I did not want to keep making that 2-hour drive to be told, okay, there's nothing wrong. So I didn't want to continue to waste time and money and gas on things, on this, when I felt like, okay, maybe he's right, there's nothing wrong. So I just kind of was like, I'm content. I don't think we need a second opinion. So finally we see the pulmonologist, and she basically was like, well, there could be a chance that you do have lymphoma, and you know, there's always a chance that you have lymphoma. So what we're gonna do is do a bronchoscopy. So a bronchoscopy is basically like when they take a little scope down your throat, they take a piece of whatever it could be within your lungs area, your chest area, and they basically, you know, send it off to be biopsied. Well, basically that is the biopsy, but they send it off to be tested. So basically, you know, she's like, well, that's just what we're gonna do. And then she asked me, did I have my tape of my CT scan? I said no, actually the cancer specialist kept it, so maybe you could get it from him. And she was asking, can we mail it to her? It was just, and that started to make my parents upset, because they're like, okay, there's miscommunication here. Like, something has to be done. We're trying to figure out what's going on. This is going on a month. Something has to be done. And I'm still not feeling better. I'm still not feeling good. I mean, I'm able to eat now, but I'm still having the chest pain and the stomach pain. It's becoming very, very unbearable. And it's just, you know, it's just one thing after the other. So after that, we come home and we're waiting on the call from UAB for my bronchoscopy, which a week goes by, which she said within that week I should be getting a call. I think I went and seen her like a Tuesday, and within that week, and that was in like May. Yeah, like May. Within that week, I should get a call, and you know, we'll go ahead and get the bronchoscopy done so that we can go ahead and figure out what's going on. So we wait a week, nothing. So the next week, I'm still not feeling well, and I'm like, Mom, can you just take me to the emergency room? So she's gonna take me to the emergency room, and she decides, a lot of people was telling her to go to Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt is in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's also like a 2-hour drive away from us as well. So I mean, it wasn't like this is a long drive from us. So my mom was like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and take you to Vanderbilt. So we go to Vanderbilt, we go to the ER, and basically, you know, they basically say that they do still see the lymph nodes in my chest, that they are still there, and that basically there was nothing that they could do for my lymph nodes, of me actually seeing like a cancer specialist and me seeing a pulmonologist and stuff like that. But they did give my mom a list of numbers to call the next morning. So we stayed over in Nashville that night, and my mom got up early that morning. She was calling around, you know, my daughter really needs an appointment. We've been going to this hospital, that hospital, seeing this doctor, that doctor. We're really wanting to get to the bottom of what is going on. We're worried, and we want to know what's wrong with my child, because that night after the hospital visit, I broke down and I said, Mom, I'm done. It's just, it mentally became too much for me, because I was so upset with the fact of not knowing what was going on with me, and people telling me, oh, you can have cancer, and people telling me, you know, be positive, stay positive. And I was trying my best to stay positive and be positive, but it was hard because I mentally was just dealing with so much more. And it's not a good feeling to be sick. I don't think people understand how much when you're sick how much mental it can do to you. You know, people just think, oh, when you're sick, it physically messes with you. No, it mentally messes with you too. And mentally and physically, I was losing it. And I just was I was over it. I just was like, I'm done. I don't even care anymore. I literally was fighting with my mom. Like, Mom, no, I don't care. I don't want to see nobody else. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to deal with it anymore. And I kind of was stuck on that until that next morning. And she's like, okay, well, we got you an appointment with the pulmonologist, and we're going to go see him Wednesday. So we go Wednesday, and we see the pulmonologist. And I thank God for my dad, because at the time, you know, my dad was upset. This had been going on a month. We had been seeing doctor after doctor, and it was just crazy not to have any answers. And it just was really like, I'm missing work. I'm having a hard time doing this, doing that. I need to know what is going on so that I can be healed, so that I can feel better, because I was getting worse. I wasn't feeling better. So my dad was like, okay, we got to get to the bottom of this. So the doctor is like, well, you know, we're going to do a bronchoscopy, and basically, you know, we're going to go down your throat, and we're going to get a piece of these lymph nodes to see if they are cancerous, which he 100% guaranteed me. It wasn't a doubt in his mind that it was not cancer. And I was so like, he 100% guaranteed me that it was not cancer, and I was content, and I felt like he was telling the truth. I felt like he was very knowledgeable. The doctors at Vanderbilt are very knowledgeable. They are very straight to the point. They're very thorough. And I was so grateful for this doctor, because he was like, well, let's see if we can get you, because my dad's like, well, when can we get this bronchoscopy done, because this has been going on a month. We need to figure out what's going on with our child. And he was like, well, let's see if we can get this done tomorrow. So they were going to put me in for like 2 p.m. to have it done. But he ended up having a cancellation that morning, which was like at 8 o'clock. So I was the first one that he did that morning. So we had left Nashville, and we had to come back that morning. So we came back that morning, and I had my bronchoscopy, and you know, everything was good. And he did tell me that if, you know, I didn't get anything within that next day or so, that he would call me first thing Monday morning to let me know. So it was about Monday afternoon, I got a call, and he was like, well, I'm happy to tell you that it is not cancer. So guys, I do not have cancer, and I thank God for that, because this has been that was the scariest situation, because cancer is like, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Like, it's just to see people go through chemotherapy, because me going there, seeing like cancer patients in their chemo area, like going to go get chemo and having their little ports for them drawing blood and everything. It was just a very scary situation, because I don't know what chemo does to your body, but I do know that, you know, a lot of people say that it makes you very, very sick, very nauseous, very weak, and I just did not want to go through that situation. So I thank God that I did not have cancer. So, you know, the next one he called, and he told me that I did not have cancer, but I do have some kind of fungal infection. So he went ahead and he referred me to an infectious disease doctor. So I had my appointment with the infectious disease doctor in, I think it was maybe June. Yeah, maybe June. Yeah, I had my appointment with my infectious disease doctor, and she was amazing. She was very thorough. She was very to the point. You know, she has a plan for a plan, and I was absolutely pleased with this whole the whole situation with Vanderbilt. They are an amazing hospital. So she basically told me that I have histoplasmosis. And histoplasmosis is a fungal infection in the lungs that basically happens when you breathe in histo something. When you basically breathe that in, I don't know all the proper medical words for it, but when you breathe in, basically with histoplasmosis, it is a mixture of like bird droppings, and it gets into the soil and it mixes in with the soil, and basically how you get it is like construction sites, you know, places that have just been built where they basically messed with the soil and mixed everything up, and it basically, you know, spreads into the air and people breathe it in, and that's what happens. And pretty much everybody gets histoplasmosis. Just some people it goes away within like 2 or 3 weeks or maybe a week, and other people like myself, it doesn't go away that fast and they deal with it for like a month or 2. And I've been dealing with it like that whole month. I was not getting better until after I had my bronchoscopy. I started to feel a little better. I still wasn't at my best. I was still having my chest pain and my stomach pain, but I was feeling a little better. So then you know, she gave me medication to be on for 3 months. She decided that I did need to have treatment because my lymph nodes were so big. So she put me on medication for 3 months, and the medication I'm going to show you guys. My MK bag. I'm going to show you guys exactly what this is. This is itraconazole, and it's 100 milligrams, and I basically take it twice a day. And they are my little gender reveal pills. They are pink and blue. Pink and blue. I think they're so cute. They are pink and blue, and I basically take them twice a day. I actually stopped taking them about a day ago because I think I am having an allergic reaction to the medication. My legs have been breaking out in like hives and been itching so bad since I've been taking this medication, and I just haven't been getting better. I've been feeling worse. As I ended up going back to work after I was on leave for about 2 months, and I was like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to go back to work. So my doctor went ahead and released me to go back to work, and I worked the 16th and the 17th and the 18th fine. And then that Sunday, I wasn't feeling very well. I didn't even get up to go to church that Sunday because I wasn't feeling very well. So, you know, I went ahead and I worked my shift. But that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, I missed. And my mom, because I was having chest pain so bad, my chest was hurting so bad, and I just wasn't feeling good. My upper back was hurting, and I was still, you know, breaking out. And my mom made me a doctor's appointment with my doctor, my infectious disease doctor in Nashville. And I went there that Thursday, and, you know, she basically broke down that, you know, she wants me to continue to take my medicine because I do still need it. And then basically, because I do still need it, and basically, if the medicine isn't working, she wants to see me in 3 more weeks, isn't working still, then I will have to take the liquid of the itraconazole. And if the liquid doesn't work, then I will have to be in the hospital for about 2 weeks, getting treatment that way through an IV. And I really don't want that, because she did say that it's extremely hard on people's bodies, and I don't want to be in the hospital bed for 2 weeks dealing with taking treatments. So I'm just praying that we do find something to fix this, because I hate that I may be allergic to this medication and I'm not able to take it. That's scary, because this is the only way, you know, the the doctor did explain to me that there's nothing better than itraconazole for this particular infection, for this particular lung infection. So it scares me to know that, okay, well, this medication isn't working, so what's next? And there is no next. I have to keep taking it and figure out a way if I am allergic to it or not. Also, you know, I just haven't been feeling very well. Like yesterday, I just literally coughed my lungs up. I was coughing up things. I just wasn't feeling good. My chest was hurting. I'm still not feeling good today, as you guys can hear. I'm still not at my best. Being sick sucks, because nobody wants to be sick. Nobody wants to feel like something is wrong with them. Nobody wants to feel like someone to feel bad for them because they're sick. Like, that's not my goal. Like I said, I don't like to be the center of attention, and I know that somebody else in this world has it 10 times worse than me. So I don't look at my illness and I don't think it's something major. I look at my illness and I think it's something that's minor, that can be fixed. Histoplasmosis can be cured, and there's not many videos on histoplasmosis. So when I was looking it up, I didn't have much information on exactly what was going to happen. So I wanted to also make this video. To give you guys a little more insight on histoplasmosis. It is a lung infection, and it is common in basically the Mississippi area, and I live in Alabama, so the upper Alabama area, which I live in the upper Alabama area, is very common in this area. So that's how I got it. It's not contagious. You know, basically you catch it if you have a very low immune system, and the doctor did tell me that my immune system is good, but I always seem to get sick every time. So I don't know, my immune system may not be as good as the test results are making it look. But with histoplasmosis, it can make you very, very sick, and I've been very, very sick, but I've been trying to push through because, you know, it's just, I don't want, you know, one thing I realize in life is that, you know, I watch all these videos on YouTube that are so inspiring, and on Facebook that are so inspiring, that are people who have misfortunes, who are basically, you know, they can't walk, or they're crippled, or they have cancer, or so forth, and they still live life free. They still live life as if nothing's wrong. And I continue to try to live my life like that, because that inspires me that, okay, yeah, I have histoplasmosis. Yes, this does affect me in a major way when it comes to breathing, when it comes to living, but I'm not gonna let this sickness cripple me. I'm not gonna let this sickness make me feel even more sick, because if you be sick and you sit in your sickness, it's gonna make you even more sicker. So I'm not trying to sit in my sickness and be even more sick. And yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. So I'm praying that we do come up with a plan. I will keep you guys updated on everything to see what is next, because like I said, I did stop taking the medicine about a day ago because I have basically been having an allergic reaction to it. And guys, I'm allergic to Benadryl. Before people be like, well, take Benadryl, and I can't take Benadryl because I'm allergic to Benadryl. So basically I'm just trying to figure out what's the next step. But I love you guys so much, my kings and queens. Also, before I end this video, I'm just going to talk about what I'm doing for this channel. I have someone making me an intro, so a new intro is on the way, and I'm going to invest in a camera, because one thing I learned is that you do have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your dreams. So I really want to get popping on my YouTube, because I love YouTube. I love doing Motivational Mondays, regardless if I don't get any views, regardless if I don't have people that subscribe. Just the 156 of you that do love me and watch my videos and subscribe mean the most to me. I don't care if I only have that much till the end of life. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to be big, but I want to be big. You know, I want to be known. I want my name to be known. So I'm not, you know, sweating if I don't make it to 100K or so forth. I just really just want to touch somebody's life and motivate someone and give someone that drive, that push, that laugh that everyone needs, because everybody needs a good laugh every now and then. So that is what is on the way. I'm investing in myself, getting a new camera, probably gonna get a new ring light as well, so that I can just have better lighting in my room and, like, you know, my little recording area, my little filming area, you know, better lighting, better everything. So yeah, I'm gonna purchase a camera, investing in a camera, invest in another ring light. I already have my intro invested in, and yeah, I love you so much, my kings and queens. I hope that you are having a wonderful just have a wonderful week. I love y'all so very, very much, and bye, my kings and queens.